All right, everyone, welcome to our next episode. Today, we have continuity with Sharon Walker. I'm so glad you joined us.
Thank you, Zen.
Yeah, we couldn't get enough of you the last session.
Oh,
Yeah, and today we're going to talk about a little bit more about women's perspective. So this is for our special group, Sisterhoods of Listeners, as what Jasper mentioned earlier. He's not with us today. We've kicked him out, sort of. Yeah, he's in the background. So Sharon, last time we talked about salary negotiations, and I have specific questions for you.
go.
I read that for men, when they apply for jobs, right, when they look at the requirements, if they have like 30% out of everything required, they would just apply with confidence. Whereas for women, we want to have everything and more. As they go for the interview, we might still feel like there's some imposter syndrome. Are we good enough? Yeah. Do you experience that with your candidates? What is your take on that?
Big question, Zen. Zen knows all the big, tough questions. Well, it happens more for women, but it can happen to both men and women. Men generally are more confident about their fit and qualification for a job than women. Women leaders, even when they are effectively running the show, are quite happy to be number two. Of recent, I've had the opportunity to talk to a few up and coming women leaders about why not step up. Yeah, and there were tears, and it's moving when you talk to your fellow sister and you hear why they hold themselves back. So many reasons why they are not good enough yet. They are learning and that they like to serve.
Wow.
They want to contribute. Wonderful. And then I circle back to them and say, one of the best ways we as women can contribute and serve the people around us is to step into the space, to lead.
Yeah.
So I see it, and I'm been very lucky that I could have these conversations, and I'm putting up a few female leaders for the general manager or CEO role.
Oh, that's really good to hear. That's very encouraging as for fellow women as well. Every time we stand up to lead, I think we represent other women. And other women who look at that feels motivated, inspired by that. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's almost like a ripple cascading impact when I see like a female leader, CEO, leading the pack. Yeah. The second thing I found out is that I was reading Harvard Business Review, and there is an article on women usually do not negotiate their job offers, usually sell themselves short because the studies show that there is actually a social cost of negotiation. But I'm too assertive. I'm not seen as a woman, right? A gentle, demure woman. Almost that mindset. Have you experienced that in your line of work?
Yes. Again, being a woman of who's inclusive, I've seen it in both men and women. It is, however, more common in women, and the being seen as negotiating hard for oneself can be deemed as, or they worry that they are seen as self-centered, selfish, or money-minded. So how do you get around to that is to think about, again, equity. And also that is not just for you, because if you are going into a job underpaid, ask yourself, would you be happy if you went to a job not getting paid what you feel you would like to get paid? Not happy, right?
Yeah.
So then, how do you make sure that you're going to go into this role fully committed and feeling like, yes, I'm ready? And are you going to be a good example for the other colleagues, the other team members, women, and others? As a leader, not just as a woman leader, we all have a responsibility to do the right thing. And that starts with ourselves.
Yeah, I feel that we actually have a personal experience of this. I found out that my pay was less competitive because I was in an organization for a while.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And I really had to bring it up.
Okay.
And I had
Good on you, then.
I had sleepless nights. I had to be coached by somebody on how to approach the conversation. And the advice given was stick to the facts, be quite objective about. So I found I told my boss that I found out, okay, 20% below the market rate. I also got some women to form a coalition, all sorts, yeah. Like what?
Nice.
Yes, to influence upwards. Like this is what we stand for. Inclusiveness, right? I do the same work. I'm a high performer. This is what I think I deserve. And I stayed in my lane. So previously, Jasper and I talked about how to have this tough conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, I just stayed in my lane. I didn't blame my boss. And I think that helped with the conversation.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And what I'm reading, staying in lane and sticking to the points is that we address the situation. It's not personal.
Yes.
As much as asking for a higher pay impacts us personally, let's look at the entire scenario
Yes.
and what it means. Love that you got a collision behind you, right? And data and staying in lane.
Yeah.
The other thing that comes to mind, Zen, is that when we are prepared in salary negotiation, it helps our bosses. Why? Because we've given them the ammunition to put our case up for us, to fight for us.
Yeah. Yeah. The business case to fight for us. And like what you mentioned, there's a cost to the organization if they're underpaying people or overpaying people, like their salary structure and things like that. So if you are struggling to have a negotiation, right, all the best to you. And you have any questions, specific questions for us, feel free to let us know in the comments below. If you want to see Sharon Walker again, and give some advice for you, let us know. Oh, thank you so much, Sharon.
Thank you, Zen. Yep, I've got plenty more from 20 years of experience to share. Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye.